my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been on my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just to stunt while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now these wanna data. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on E.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football, go make a play, and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Ready, green, 39.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He's going to loft one deep, trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too. But that kind of loss of yards, that is usually an error by the guy carrying the ball. At the 1-yard line, you can't get too fancy there. You just got to try and plow forward and get what you can.
It's just a disaster. You go back to the 6 after you were at the 1. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 3rd down, it's Love, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Able to punch it in on third down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go now.
A first down carry for Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for it.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Green 39.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when and told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Here we go. Green 90. Green.
Operating from the red zone now. Mahomes over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Here we go now. Green 90.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Terrence Mitchell, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Gets by him at the 25. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
On 3rd down, it's Love, and he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
Brandon, this is why play callers get the big bucks. This wasn't a 4th and inches call. You get into situations like 4th and 3, 4th and 4. You've got a tough decision to make. Very gutsy play here, and they pick up the first down.
Mayfield. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the ball comes loose. And the Ravens have got it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Tyler Lockett now with the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Second down, Mayfield. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Flush to his right. Finding room inside the 40. And he is out of bounds. Inside the 35.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Kidder here, it's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. First target, first catch, and a first down. They'll run with Chubb. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He's going to get it running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Mayfield, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And on the ground they go with a running back. Able to spin free. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And I think the offense got it back. Yes, they did. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Gostkowski for the point after. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that makes our score 17-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season, as this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. He dumps it off to Barkley. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 6 there on first. On second down, here's Mahomes. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Mahomes now on first down. Caught left side. It's Beckham. Give him 30 yards there.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Green, 90.
On first and 10, here's Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Mahomes will try again on second down. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Mahomes to throw once more. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On this day, has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Browns, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 6.